Hello, my name's Janik, and welcome to Leadscraper. I'm the founder and developer of the product, and one thing is more important to me than anything else, that you, as a customer, are truly successful with it. That you save time with Leadscraper and generate leads that you otherwise would never have found. And in my experience, this success starts right here, at the very beginning. Once you've understood how Leadscraper works, everything else follows almost automatically. That's why I'm personally taking you on the entire journey now, from the very first test to leads you can actually use. Step by step, without leaving anything out, so that in the end, you know and understand exactly how to get the most out of Leadscraper. One more thing. The interface you see here is in English, but don't worry, you can change the language at any time in your profile settings and use Leadscraper in your preferred language. If any questions do come up along the way, our help center is always just a click away. Here you'll find answers to all the questions that have ever come up. Alternatively, if anything else remains unclear, just message me in the chat down here. I personally handle every customer inquiry and will resolve yours quickly too, should anything be outstanding. So, let's get started together. Everything in Leadscraper starts with your website, which is why we're setting it up first on purpose. You might be wondering why this is necessary. The reason is simple. Instead of filling out long forms about your company, we want you to just let an AI scraper look at your business so it can immediately find out what you offer, who you help, and what sets you apart from other companies. Here, we've already filled this in using Leadscraper as an example, and after a few seconds, you'll see a result that looks like this. Then, right on the screen, you just click on Edit and adjust the individual points. You add what's missing and remove what doesn't fit. This is the foundation for everything that follows. Your searches, your scouting, and your results are all built on this. So take a moment here and you'll have a solid foundation for the second step. Now comes the step where you define your target audience. The target audience is crucial for two reasons. Firstly, it's the basis for all the searches we'll start later, and it gathers the learnings from those searches. You can actually start different search queries and train various target audiences so that over time, each audience learns exactly which matches are the right ones for you. Secondly, Leadscraper creates a customized acquisition plan for you. For this, we need to know who you're targeting, what kind of companies you're approaching, and what your hook is. That's why you enter all the basics about your target group and your acquisition process here. This allows us to create a tailored acquisition plan for every lead later on, and Leadscraper understands even better exactly who you want to reach. It's important to understand that this isn't the actual search query we use to generate the leads. That comes now in our first run. Now it gets really exciting. We're starting the first run. Here too, we're not starting from scratch. Leadscraper already makes ready-made suggestions, and then you simply choose the right target group and refine this search if necessary. My tip is, feel free to test different search queries against each other. 4, 5, 6 different ones, and find out which variant works best for you. So you start a query, then evaluate the leads and enrich them. This is exactly how the system gets better with every search. The great thing is, if a search goes well, you can restart it at any time, or have it start automatically. You can then, for example, set up a search so that it automatically generates 240, 120, 60, 30, or just 20 leads a day in the background while you do something else. And the next time you log in, the leads are, well, in your account. Once the run is complete, you'll see the fresh leads, and you'll notice that each lead has an individual score. This score is there to make your life easier. You can see at a glance how well a lead really fits your ideal customer profile and how promising it is for your company. Leadscraper calculates this index by comparing everything it knows about your company with your offer and the target group you've described. Why is that important? Because you no longer have to go through every result one by one, but can prioritize and logically approach the companies with particularly good scores first, because the chances of success are even higher there. It's a really simple way to ensure you're putting your time and energy into the right contacts, at least in the first step. Now let's move on to the three-stage enrichment process, which is exactly how a suitable company becomes a ready-to-use lead. You'll find most companies automatically via the search queries I've just shown you. However, you can also create companies yourself by clicking on Add and setting up a specific sales target, a company website for a company you'd like to acquire, and then specifically enrich only the right contact persons and, if necessary, the acquisition plan. In a multi-stage process, Leadscraper scours the internet, finds the right decision makers, and identifies email patterns where possible, and demonstrates why the company's a really good fit for you. When you open a lead, you see all of that bundled together. This is a list entry with the company information. You'd also find the contact persons, the social networks with LinkedIn and, for example, Zing. You can see email addresses and phone numbers, everything that we found through public research. That means all of this is information that is publicly available. We compile it clearly in Leadscraper so that we can save you all that manual research work. Exactly, under contacts you'll find the decision makers, like the managing directors here, for example, with their profiles on LinkedIn or Xing. An assessment of how certain we are that these leads, or rather these contact details, actually work in this instance. And the real highlight is the acquisition plan, which then comes in the third step. This means that based on all the information we've found about the company, Leadscraper provides a deep company analysis. That means a classification of the company, specific opportunities for your approach, and quite honestly, possible risks or deal breakers, so that you go into it with your eyes open. A ready-made channel mix over several days is built on that, meaning when you should start an email, when to call, when to send another LinkedIn request, or rather a follow-up, each with a reason. And then, for example, you'll also find a message that you can use directly for the initial contact, straight as a draft for your own CRM system or your email program. You don't just get a contact, but a completely thought out plan for the approach, ready to go. Once you have leads that are a really good fit, they should, of course, go where you work. I touched on that briefly just now, and that's why from the contact person stage, as soon as you've enriched a contact with the contact persons, you can export the contact directly or import it into your own CRM system. We have many different connections to various CRM systems. New ones are added weekly. And now comes the part that makes Leadscraper really powerful over time, and that's the evaluation of the leads. If a lead fits, you'll logically move it to the next phase and the contact details are enriched. Leadscraper sees this as a positive signal. Another positive signal is when you enrich the contact with the acquisition plan in the next step. If a company isn't a good fit, you can mark it as negative and choose from several reasons why this company or lead wasn't right for you. With this feedback, we can optimize the scraper and you ensure that you only have clean, accurate data in your system. In the final step, you have a separate dashboard for each target group. This means that as soon as enough learnings are saved for your target group, Leadscraper presents them graphically and shows you the identified patterns. This means you can definitely ensure that you know exactly why Leadscraper is generating the results it's generating for you. Exactly, then we've covered the most important points for now. Thank you for going through this with me, and now just go ahead and get your first leads. One more thing beforehand, if you have existing leads you'd like to exclude from the search, you can simply enter the website links here and Leadscraper will exclude these leads directly. so you can be sure to only have new contacts in your system. If you have any further questions, I'd be happy for you to contact me via the chat. Otherwise, I wish you every success with your first sample requests. In the next step, you just need to test the whole system, and then we'll work together to get the most out of it through further optimizations. I look forward to working with you, and good luck with Leadscraper.